Hey everyone, this is Beth Ann Schwamberger from BrilliantBusinessMoms.com. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Feeling extra good this morning, had a little more coffee than usual. Okay, let's get started. Earlier this week on the podcast, Kelly Miller shared with us a bazillion great tips on how to use Twitter and make the most of it. She shared some tools that I thought were really interesting, and I wanted to check them out and see how they work and teach you guys how to use them. If you're anything like me, you might get a little bit intimidated by learning new tools, new technology, even though you know in the long run it might be really helpful. It just that learning curve initially is like, oh geez, something new. I don't have time for anything else new. And so that's what I'm trying to do here, is to show you how easy some of these tools really are. So the first one I'm going to show you is Twitter feed. So you just go to twitterfeed.com, and this is free. And so I've got I'm on the dashboard page here, and I have already set up Twitter feed to publish posts from our own website. So at the bare minimum, you want to use Twitter feed for that, because if you're like me, sometimes social media feels overwhelming. Sometimes you just don't have time to pop on and schedule out all your posts and everything. But with Twitter feed, I can go in and hook up my RSS feed to my Twitter account, and so then anytime a new blog post goes up, a new podcast, show notes page goes up, my Twitter feed will automatically post that to Twitter for me, which is really great. It's really nice. And obviously there are tons of other social media scheduling tools that will do that for you, but what I'm going to show you next is what makes Twitter feed really, really great. Okay, so I'm going to go to create new feed right here. And okay, so the strength of Twitter feed is that it allows you to be a curator of excellent content. You get to be the first person tweeting about new great blog posts and great content that are out on the web. And how is that possible? How do we do this? Okay, so think about your niche, whatever that might be, and who are some of the leading bloggers in that field that you follow, you love everything they put out. If that's the case, if you can think of a few people like that, like for us, one of them is Amy Lynn Andrews. Amy Lynn Andrews is awesome. She's always posting incredible, helpful blogging advice, just anything about online, building a brand, a business, everything. She's great. I suppose it's definitely more blogging stuff, but along with the blogging, she shares ebook advice. There's just tons of great content. So what you can do, if you know you want to share that person's blog post on your Twitter, because they always write great stuff and it would really benefit your audience. So then I went to amylynnandrews.com / what I typed in actually was RSS. And then it takes me to whatever is the correct URL for Amy Lynn Andrews' feed. So then, this is all her blog posts as they come out. Okay, so what I would love to do is make sure my audience sees all of Amy Lynn Andrews' new content. And to be honest, it's great for me too, because I don't usually have time to go check out all of my favorite blogs all the time. But if it's going to show up in my Twitter feed, then I can very quickly keep track of what's new, what's going on with everybody. Okay, so I typed her feed URL in here, and then I test the feed. Passed, all right. Okay, and so then I go down here to advanced settings. Okay, check for new posts. You can change this. And now this might depend. If you're trying to do the feed of a huge blog and they do post every 30 minutes, but maybe you really don't want to overwhelm your audience that often. But I'm just going to say every hour. And Amy Lynn tends to post maybe just once or twice a week. So it's not going to be a big deal. And then I'll just do one new update at a time. And again, so this would be if you had some crazy busy blog you were sharing their content from. And then over here, the post content, what do you want to be included? Well, on Twitter, there's not room for a whole lot. So I'm just going to say title only. And then there's all these options to shorten the length here. So I'm just going to stick with bit.ly. Go down here. I don't want LinkedIn, and Facebook, I guess, has not been updating at the moment. Plus with Facebook, I want to share right from their page because that gives me extra Facebook juice. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to use this for Twitter. Post sorting, I'm going to sort them based on publication date. To be honest, I don't even know what this is, GUID. So we're not going to mess with that. And then here's what's really great. You can put a prefix or a suffix on each tweet. So for Amy Lynn Andrews' feed, I want to make sure that I'm doing an @ reply to her in all of those tweets. I want her to know that I'm sharing her content with my audience. So I'm going to go on here and just verify. Yeah, I was pretty sure it was Amy Lynn Andrews for her username. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I use this. And I'm going to put that at the end of every tweet that comes from this feed, because this feed is obviously, it's only her content, so I can tag all of those tweets with Amy Lynn Andrews. Okay, and then this is really cool too. Let's say you follow a website and what you love are the DIY projects that they do, but maybe you don't care about the recipes or some of the other posts they do. So you could filter your posts and say in here, only do recipe, food, whatever. And so like if you typed in recipe, food, cookies, like whatever, then if it has any of those words in it, it will publish it. And if it doesn't, it's not going to show up. So there's something you can do. But Amy Lynn Andrews, always great stuff, or we want to tweet about all of her posts. So here we go, and then continue to step 2. Okay, and then here's all these other social things. Again, I don't care. I just want Twitter. And I have already authenticated my Twitter account, but it's really easy. You just click here. I'm sure you've seen that for other apps. And then this, I'm not really sure this UTM tags. I'm just going to leave it like that. And then you just say create a service. So I'm really curious to see when Amy Lynn actually posts something new to see how this works out. I think it's going to be really exciting. So then step 3, all done. Okay, and so I'm just going to show you one more. I would like to share everything that the Etsy Seller Handbook puts out, because again, that's something that is so relevant to my audience. And the Etsy Seller Handbook can be a little bit tricky and annoying to actually find on Etsy itself. And so if I can share all of their new posts right there with my audience, that's, you know, it's going to be really helpful for them. So again, let me go back to my dashboard here. Create a new feed. I'm going to call this the Etsy Seller Handbook. So again, you could do this for multiple sites that you know your followers will love, and they'll think you're crazy helpful for doing it. And again, all I did here is I typed in, I found the website for Etsy Seller Handbook, which is kind of weird in and of itself. I typed in /RSS, and then it let me know, okay, the actual website for their feed is this /feed. I have to say, I can't wait to share how this goes with all of you guys, because I feel like if I add quite a few people to Twitter feed, that I could really start to be seen as a curator of really great, helpful content for our audience, and it could bring, you know, some new followers our way, which would be super fun. And of course, if you love Brilliant Business Moms content, you can certainly add us to your Twitter feed. That would be awesome. So with that being said, that's how Twitter feed works. It's free. It is so fast, so easy, and bam, all of a sudden you are a master curator of content on Twitter. So get to it, guys. Now it's your turn to head out there and be brilliant.